First and foremost, I would like to thank Department of Physics and specially thanks to Dr. CP Sir of Namchi Government College and Sikkim University for providing me such a platform to make a video for the partial fulfillment of BSc Honors on Physics at 6th semester, February to July. So, hello everyone, good afternoon. Myself, Sweta Tamang, and my roll number is 18NS0005. So, today I will be explaining the features of vector atom model.
The outlines are introduction, quantization, angular momentum and its type, vector atom model and its features, that is, spatial quantization and spin quantization. Initially, we start with the basics of terms and models of an atom, and then Rutherford planetary model of an atom, then came Bohr atom model. All these are models which tries to explain the behavior of atom. These different models are not the final pictures of the atom. Each of the models were successful in explaining some of the behavior exhibited by the atom, while it fails in a fewer space. So in order to settle the issues with the model, then a new model would come up. So terms and models could not explain the large deviations of alpha particle during scattering and the spectra, and accordingly then a Rutherford experimental mind came up with the nuclear planetary model of an atom. It could explain the reason for large deviations of alpha particle in the scattering and introduce a concept of nucleus, but fails to explain hydrogen spectra, which was found to be line spectra. While Rutherford classical model speaks about continuous spectra for atom. So now, to settle the issues with Rutherford model of atom, Bohr introduced quantum model of atom, which predicted stationary orbits and a few postulates to explain the behavior and responses of the atom. Today we will discuss vector atom model and quantum numbers. Even though Bohr atom model could explain the origin and a series of hydrogen spectra or spectra of hydrogen-like atom, it fails to explain the fine structures of spectral lines. Another issue with Bohr atom model was that even though Bohr atom model predicted stationary orbit, it could not explain the distributions of orbital electrons in these cells or orbits. So today we move out to this vector atom model and quantum numbers to account for this. Many of the difficulties came in Bohr's or other models. Vector atom model is an extension of Bohr-Sommerfeld atom model. The relative intensities of lines in this spectra of hydrogen atom could not be explained on the basis of Bohr-Sommerfeld model. Bohr-Sommerfeld could not explain anomalous Zeeman effect and Stark effect. Another shortcomings of this theory is that it does not throw right distribution and arrangement of electrons in an atom. To overcome drawbacks of Bohr-Sommerfeld atom model, Uhlenbeck and Gauss-Schmidt extended this model and is now called as vector atom model. An atom model is called vector atom model in which spin angular momentum is added vectorically to the orbital angular momentum to form resultant angular momentum. That is, J equals to L plus S, where J represents total angular momentum, L represents orbital angular momentum, and S represents spin angular momentum. Now let us talk about Stark effect, Zeeman effect, spin angular momentum, and orbital angular momentum. Stark effect is the splitting of a spectrum line into several components by the applications of an electric field is called Stark effect. The splitting of a spectrum line into several components by the applications of a magnetic field is called Zeeman effect. Orbital angular momentum. Angular momentum due to the orbital motion of an electron around the nucleus is called orbital angular momentum, that is represented by L. Angular momentum due to rotations of electron about its own axis is called spin angular momentum, that is represented by S. Now moving into next topic, that is main features of vector atom model. Number 1, spinning electron, and number 2 is spatial quantization. Spinning electron. In order to explain the fine structures of hydrogen-like atom, Uhlenbeck and Goudsmit in the year 1925 put forward electron spin hypothesis, according to which in addition to the moment of electron in an orbit around the nucleus, it also rotates about its own axis. In other words, electron has spin motion in addition to the orbital motion. As a result, electron possesses spin angular momentum, that is S vector, and has spin magnetic moment, that is mu S vector. The magnitude of orbital angular momentum is given by capital S equals to modulus of small s vector into under square root small s into s plus 1 h cut, where capital S equals to small s star h cut, where small s is spin quantum number and has value plus half, and small s star equals to under square root s into s plus 1. The magnitude of spin magnetic moment mu s vector is given by mu s equals to modulus of mu s vector into E by m into s, and the final expression is given by mu s equals to under root 3 mu b, where mu b has value E into h cut divided by 4 pi m, which has value 9.27 into 10 to the power minus 24. The spinning electron can successfully explain doublet structures of sodium and anomalous Schumann effect also. You can compare with spinning of planet while rotating around the sun in elliptical orbit. It's a spin or spin of Earth is the reason of day or night. In atoms, along with the orbital motion around the nucleus, electron spin about its own axis, and there are two possible spin, either clockwise spin or anti-clockwise spin. So there is a restriction. Basically, spin is restricted. A restriction, what we call is quantization. So in quantum theory, only two possible spin are allowed, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Just like the orbital motion of an electron is restricted in terms of vector perpendicular to the plane of orbital motion, which is a quantized vector, and its orientation or projection on the magnetic field direction is restricted. Similarly, electron spin motion is also quantized. The atomic behavior and the spectra can be explained based on this quantized orbital and spin vectors. Hence, this atom model is based on this quantized orbital and spin vectors. That's why we call it vector atom model, because vector come into picture. So using this vector, we try to explain the behavior of an atom. That is why it is called vector atom model. Now we have another topic is spatial quantization. According to Bohr-Sommerfeld atom model, we have seen that orbits of electrons are two-dimensional, so that electron possesses only 2 degrees of freedom. In other words, only two quantum numbers are sufficient to define electron orbit. But in general, the electrons in an atom moves in 3-dimensional space, and therefore it possesses 3 degrees of freedom. In other words, 3 quantum numbers are needed to define electron orbit. The 2 out of 3 quantum numbers give size and form of electron orbit, whereas the 3 quantum numbers quantizes the orientations of electron orbit. Thus, spatial quantization makes electron orbit vector quantizes. To know more about spatial quantization, what we have to do is, let me place the atom in external magnetic field applied along z-axis and normal to the plane of orbit makes angle theta with z-axis. Due to applied external magnetic field, the plane of orbit possesses about magnetic field as the precession of mechanical torque in the gravitational field. The spatial quantization restricts theta to certain discrete values of theta independent of magnetic field, but the rate of precession depends on the field of strength. L vector represent directions of angular momentum which is normal, and there formed a theta, that is angle between capital L vector and B vector. Spatial quantization says that it makes the values of theta discrete. Every value of theta is not possible. Only few allowed values are possible which can precise around orbital angular momentum and magnetic field. The value of theta does not depend on amount of applied external magnetic field, but do depend on the rate of precision above field of strength. If the applied field strength of magnetic field is high, then the rate of precision gets higher, and if the field strength of magnetic field is low, then the precision will be lower. The z component of L vector is given by Lz equals to ml h by 2 pi, where ml is magnetic orbital quantum number and has value -1 to +1. So for example, consider if for a given value of L that is 2, then ml has value -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Means ml has 5 values for L equals to 2. For L equals to 1, then we see ml equals to -1, 0, 1 means it has 3 values of ml. It means value of ml depends according to value of L. The component of z, that is Lz, is along the directions of z-axis, and we join L vector and Lz to form triangle OPQ. In triangle OPQ, we find cos theta. We know cos theta equals to base by hypotenuse. So here in triangle OPQ, base is OQ, that is Lz, and hypotenuse is OP, that is L. So if we find cos theta in triangle OPQ, we know cos theta equals to base by hypotenuse, which is Lz by L. We know the value of Lz and L. So putting this value, what we get is the value of Lz divided by L, which has value ml h by 2 pi divided by under root L into L plus 1 into h by 2 pi, and from there we can find cos theta. So cos theta has value ml by under root small l into L plus 1. Moving on to next topic, basic description of quantum mechanical atomic model. Quantum mechanics physics propose that electrons are moving around the nucleus, not on specifically depend electron path, as we have seen example in Rutherford planetary atomic model, but in a certain three-dimensional space atomic orbitals in which their own occurrence has a certain probability, meaning their position cannot be calculated with 100% accuracy. Four numbers called quantum numbers we introduced to describe the characteristics of electron and their orbitals. Quantum numbers. Number 1, principal quantum number, that is denoted by n, small n. It describes the energy level of the electron in an atom. It also describes the average distance of the orbital from nucleus. It has positive value, whole number value, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Theoretically speaking, the number could go to infinite. Practically, there are 7 known energy levels. It can be seen sometime described in capital letters instead of numbers, beginning with K, L, M, N. The n value describes the size of the orbitals. The second is angular momentum quantum number, which is denoted by a small l. It describes basically the shape of the orbital. This number is limited by the principal quantum number. Its values goes from 0 to n minus 1. For example, for orbitals with principal quantum number n equals to 2, they can by two different shapes of orbitals, two different values, l equals to 0 and l equals to 1. For every number exists a letter describing the shape of the orbital as shown in the table below. Another topic is magnetic quantum number, that is denoted by ml. It describes how different shapes of orbitals are oriented in space. Its value can be from -1 to 0 to +1. For example, for value l equals to 1, there exists 3 value of ml equals to -1, 0 and +1, meaning that the space of that orbital can be oriented in 3 different ways in space. which is shown in below table. And the another one is spin quantum number, that is represented by small ms. It describes in which direction is an electron spinning in a magnetic field that can be either clockwise or anti-clockwise, and as a result there are only two allowed values, that is minus half and plus half. One consequence of electron spin is that a maximum of two electrons can occupy any given orbital, and the two electrons occupying the same orbital must have opposite spin. This is also called as the Pauli exclusion principle. Principles of atom structure. Based on knowledge of quantum numbers, we are now able to build an electron configurations of an atom that describe electron arrangement in an atom. Apart from Pauli exclusion principle, there are two other rules that we must follow. Number one is Auvore principle, and second one is Hund's rule. In Auvore principle, the electron configuration has shown in the figure, you can go through. Hund's rule. A single electron with the same spin must occupy each orbital in a sublevel before they pair up with an electron with an opposite spin. As shown in the figure below, you can go through. The importance of quantum mechanical atomic model has two main aspects. First, being able to build an electron structures of atom of specific substances help us to understand how the atom interact in molecules. Therefore, we are one step closer to a more detailed descriptions of attributes of those substances. Second is it leaves an open door to move to more potential theories which could expand our knowledge and perception of the world and universe surrounding us. Now we have atomic models. Number 1, John Dalton atomic model. John Dalton was an English scientist who came up with an idea that all matter is composed of very small things. It was the first complete attempt to describe all matters in terms of particles. He called these particles as atom and formed an atomic theory in which he claimed that number 1, all matter is made of atoms. Atoms are indivisible and indestructible. Number 2, all atoms of a given element are identical in mass and properties. Number 3, compounds are formed by combinations of two or more different kinds of atoms. Number 4, a chemical reaction is a rearrangement of atom. Part of his theory had to be modified based on the discovery of subatomic particles and isotopes. We now also know that atoms are not indivisible because they are made up of neutrons, electrons and protons. Second model is plum pudding model, which was given by J.J. Thomson. After discovery of an electron in 1897, people realized that atoms are made up of even smaller particles. Shortly after, in 1904, J.J. Thomson proposed his famous plum pudding model. In this model, atoms were known to consist of negatively charged electrons. However, the atomic nucleus had not been discovered yet. Thomas knew that atom had an overall neutral charge. He thought that there must be something to counterbalance the negative charge of an electron. He came up with an idea that negative particles are floating within a soup of diffuse positive charge. His model is often called the plum pudding model because of his similarity to a popular English dessert. Third model is Rutherford model of an atom. Rutherford was first who suggested that Thomson plum pudding model was incorrect. His new model introduced nucleus to the theory. Nucleus contained relatively high central charge concentrated into very small volume. This small volume also contained the bulk of the atomic mass of the atom. Nucleus is surrounded by lighter negative charged electron. His model is sometimes known as the planetary model of the atom. However, there were still some major problems with this model. For example, Rutherford could not explain why atoms only emit light at certain frequencies. This problem was solved by Danish physicist Niels Henrik David Bohr. And we have the final model of atom, that is Bohr model of an atom. Bohr model describes the atom as a positively charged nucleus which is surrounded by electrons. Electrons travel in circular orbit. Attraction is provided by electrostatic force. Normally occupied energy level of the electron is called the ground state. The electron can move to less stable by absorbing energy. The higher level is called excited state. The electron can return to its original level by releasing the energy. All in all, when electron jumps between orbits, it is accompanied by an emitted or absorbed amount of energy. He proposed following postulates. Number 1, an electron cannot revolve around the nucleus in all possible orbit. It can revolve around the nucleus in those allowed orbit for which the angular momentum of the electron is an integral multiple of h by 2 pi. And the second postulate is an atom radiates energy only when electron jumps from a stationary orbit of higher energy. If electron jumps from an initial orbit of energy Ei to the final orbit of energy Ef bracket Ei greater than Ef bracket close, a photon of frequency, that is gamma A, is given by Ei minus Ef divided by h is emitted. The Bohr formula: radius of nth permissible orbit for hydrogen Rn is given by n square h square epsilon naught divided by pi e square m. The total energy of the electron in the nth orbit En equals to minus m e to the power 4 z square divided by 8 into epsilon naught square n square h square. Here we see the figure of different spectral series of hydrogen atom according to Bohr. The equations of total energy can be diagrammatically represented, then it is called the energy level diagram, as shown in the figure below. Drawbacks of Bohr's model of an atom was a spectrograph of high resolving so that lines are not single. Each spectral lines actually consisted of several very close lines packed together. This is called fine structures of spectral line. Bohr theory could not explain this fine structure. So finally we have the conclusion of vector atom model. Number 1, it is semi-classical model to explain the concept of Zeeman effect and Stark effect. Number 2, it explains the number of fine structure lines. Number 3, it can also explain the complex spectra of alkali metal like sodium. Number 4, and also can explain how the orbital electron in an atom are distributed around the nucleus. And the final one is, it gives the concept of Bohr magnetron and spinning electrons, that is, electrons itself spin and revolve around the nucleus. I hope this explanation would be helpful to you all, and thank you.